While surveying areas in northern Peru, I came across what I believed were ancient structures sprawling across the ridges of these mountains overlooking the valley below. Almost certainly the remnants of ancient architecture, the structures were peppered throughout the area and both deep into the mountain range and also along the slopes facing the valley itself. There's some possible terracing here, and then to the west are more structures facing the valley. But the most interesting thing to me was this section here, on what seems to be a plateau with these white circular shapes. There also appeared to be a wall right behind them snaking along this section of the mountain ridge. Tracing that wall to the east, it was clear that it came upon another set of structures here. But going back to that section with those white spots, my assumption was that this was likely a burial place and was the result of looting pits having been filled back in over time. I had to check it out, so I made a point to stop by the area on the last expedition. I made my way to the area here, parked the car, and put the drone in the air to see what some of this might look like. And you can tell these were definitely the remnants of ancient architecture. I was bordering the Ancash region of Peru, and in this area of the northern coast, after the decline of the prominent Chavin culture, came the Salinar period. And this was a time when small lordships developed, and although there were a couple of known larger urban population centers, the majority of settlements were small and isolated. This period, from about 200 BCE to 300 CE, saw a dramatic increase in warfare and led to settlements being built higher up in the mountains, usually accompanied by some sort of fortification structures for defensive purposes. And I believe that's what I was seeing here. I was running out of daylight, but figured I might have the time to at least make it to what I believed was likely an ancient burial site of the culture that once lived along these ridges. So I'm running out of daylight here, but I'm at this spot where I saw these white holes at the top of this mountain, and I want to take a look. My shoe just completely fell apart. The hike was harder than anticipated, particularly because my shoe decided to give up on me and call it quits. But I was dedicated to seeing this through. That's how far I've come. You can see piles of stone to my left here, stretching to the next ridge, which verified to me that this indeed used to be a wall. And it seemed people had set up some cairns. And as I passed a pile of rubble, I noticed pink paint on it. You can see that here. It also seemed like there were stones set up around the perimeter of this plateau, which indicated to me that this location has at least been surveyed before. It almost appeared like these holes had been backfilled, which can be a typical occurrence when archaeologists approach any one of the thousands of potential archaeological sites in Peru, allowing them to gain information but not have to do a full-out excavation. Although looking at the aerial shot from the drone, there didn't seem to be any specific methodical approach, and the fact that I wasn't seeing the typical fragments of pottery or bones scattered that can be found pretty much at any looted location, it made me think that maybe it was possible that this was untouched, and the discoloration being seen was simply the surface layer of soil being removed during the original burial process. It's also possible, though, that if these were from a survey, that whomever took part in that was really good at cleaning up what may have been looted already or holes that were dug during that survey. I really wanted to keep going and follow along that wall that seemed to lead to other structures along these ridges. But at this particular time of year, the sun sets so fast. And plus, at this point, I only had one working shoe. The sole had completely fallen off the other one, and walking along these stones was pretty painful. So I made sure to ping this location for any potential future research. I went out, I bought a new pair of boots, and the expedition continued the very next day to some pretty interesting and exciting locations. And I've got a ton of content that I'm working on putting out there for you all to see. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to stay primed for the latest releases and exciting announcements about future expeditions. Please comment below with any thoughts or questions you may have about what we've seen here today, and definitely share this with anyone you think might find it interesting. And if you find value in the Pillars of the Past mission to explore, document, investigate, and help preserve these newly discovered and ancient forgotten locations, there are a ton of ways to support that. All of those links can be found in the description below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.